You know, girlfriend, some relationships sizzle.
Yes, they do, and others fizzle.
Every couple is different. Harry and I make love 2-3 times a week.
Great, now I feel worse. Well, what was the last time for you?
6 months ago.
Oh, my.
Sounds long. but that's a dry spell.
I bet it is.
Woo-hoo! Miranda may be the loner in that group, but she certainly isn't the only one suffering a dry spell. About 15% of married folks in America haven't had sex for at least 6 months. Wow. The survey also finds married peeps have sex on average 58 times a year, a little more than once a week. That is the average.
Okay, so is sexless marriage the last straw or the hook for a new beginning? We're getting some insight from our relationship expert, Janie Lacey. Good morning, Janie.
Good morning.
All right, let's jump right into it.
Yeah.
Yeah. First of all, define for you, at least in a clinical way, what is a sexless marriage?
Well, in a basic way, that study, as long as other research, we define it as not only you're not having any sexual encounters in your marriage, but you're having 10 or less sexual encounters with your spouse in marriage.
And I think it's a big topic right now because we've been talking about too many cases of infidelity, and then Oprah had the big sexless marriage episode on her show just the other day. Do you think that's why it's such a hot topic right now? Because obviously couples have not had sex. And, you know, this has been going on for a long time.
Right, and it has been going on, but we're talking about it a lot more.
Which
and
is good.
There's lots of, it's just not that we're talking about it, but it has been going on. And there's psychological reasons, there's physical reasons, there's emotional reasons. And when we look at the media looks like where everyone's having sex all the time.
Sure.
So when this happens in couple relationships, they just don't talk about it because they're ashamed.
You mentioned the reasons. Let's talk about some of those, starting with women. What do you think?
Well, there are differences between women and men, and for women, sometimes it can be self-esteem issues. And one of the biggest reasons that we hear in couples counseling is sex life changes after people have kids, especially for women. We're holding our babies, we're getting our physical needs met through them, and then when our husband comes home and now he wants to physically touch us, it's kind of like, I've been touched all day by the kids.
You give all you can give to the little ones. Okay, what about for the guys? Why don't they want to have sex?
Well, for men, a lot of times it can be physical. Later in life, over 40, some men will experience erectile dysfunction throughout that second half of life. And other reasons can be resentment, right? If your wife is critical, she's judging you, she's always after you, she's mothering you is what we like to call it. No one likes to sleep with their mother.
It's not real sexy. It's not real sexy.
It's not real sexy. No one likes to sleep with mom.
Okay. Makes sense. All right, so take us to some ground of hope here. What can you do to get your groove back?
Well, if there has not been any sexual betrayal like affairs or any type of thing that's kind of broken the trust of the relationship, because if there has, you have to take care of that first. But if that hasn't occurred, then first you want to bond intimately, which is emotional intimacy. You want to be connected with each other, you want to show closeness, and you want to kind of start there. And then you want to move over to what we call non-sexual touch. I mean, you're touching each other, it's not going to necessarily lead to sex, because some women, they kind of are trained that if my husband's touching me, he must want sex. So we have to reincorporate that into the relationship. And one of the things that I always recommend to couples, which is the hardest thing, is that you have to prioritize it the way that you would prioritize other things and events on your calendar.
Make an appointment.
That you have to make an appointment, and it can be spontaneous as well.
Janie, thanks so much. We have more information on our website, dailybuzz.now.com.